Welcome back. Our guest this morning is Orlando Representative Carlos Guillermo Smith, whose lawsuit against the Florida Department of Health over COVID data will be heard by a judge this week. In this portion of the discussion, Smith will react to the Texas-style abortion bill that was recently filed by a Florida lawmaker. But first, the ongoing fight over masks in schools. We're almost to the 2-month mark of school starting, and yet it seems every week there is and this is just on the local level, there is a school board meeting with the subject of masks and whether or not parents should have the option to opt their kids out. They get heated. There have been arrests made at these. I mean, what do you make of what's playing out at our local school boards?
It's really frustrating because many of the parents that are showing up at school board meetings are traveling around the state. They don't send kids to these particular public schools, and they're basically going from one school board meeting to the next to promote their anti-science, anti-mask, anti-vaccine message. And what's really unfortunate is that some school board districts have decided that they're going to side with these same parents who sometimes even will allege that people who wear masks are part of a demonic cult. They are now taking over what policies are being implemented. They are bullying school districts into not requiring masks and, not engaging in the mitigation efforts that we know will keep kids healthy and will save lives. And that's what's happening in the state now. These folks who are a small percentage of the population, a fringe part of the population who don't believe in science, they have taken over Florida. And that is very concerning because we need to do everything that we can to protect our kids, our teachers, and the rest of us from this deadly virus that's already killed 52,000 Floridians.
In September of 2020, if you looked ahead and said in September 2021, did you expect it to be such a topic like it was then? I mean, what do you make of the last 20 months or so?
I don't think any of us expected us to be back to where we are right now, where we should be wearing masks to protect ourselves, specifically when we're indoors, especially with larger crowds, that we're having to continue social distancing, that we keep having to try to convince our friends, our neighbors, and our family members to get vaccinated, because that's the most important and effective tool that we can use to try to finally end this pandemic and save lives. But I think what's important for folks to understand is we can't take any tools off of the table to try to mitigate the spread of the disease and mitigate, the spread of this deadly virus. For example, Governor DeSantis has been promoting the monoclonal antibody treatment, which is an important tool for us to use. We need to make sure that folks have access to that antibody treatment if they get infected with COVID-19, because it is effective with avoiding hospitalization. What my issue is with the governor's leadership, or lack thereof, is he's pretty much given up on promoting vaccines as the most important thing that we can do to prevent infection. He is pandering to an anti-mask, anti-vaccination crowd to promote his own political ambitions and a future run for president. And unfortunately, it is a disservice to Floridians, and it has cost many lives.